League fans, my name is Steve Mascord. You're on rugbyleague.com where too much league isn't enough. And it's another round of rugby league coming up if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the first round of rugby league if you're an NRL fan. Of course, all that action taking place in Las Vegas. Now, before we go any further, there's been a terrible news in the last sort of half day in the game of rugby league with Terri Williams, who used to run the Rugby League Museum at Moore Park and been a historian at Newtown forever, been around the sport forever. He died in his sleep after, I believe, attending a rugby league function and working at a rugby league function. So I want to pass on condolences of everyone here at rugbyleague.com to his many, many friends and family. Terrible, terrible news. This morning's show, we're introducing you to the day on rugbyleague.com. We've got coming up during the course of the morning and afternoon, 40-20 returns to our schedule for the first time since last season. Looking forward to hearing that. And also back for a second week is Super League 360. Tonight we'll have game day during the big battle of the borough in Super League between Lee and Wigan. Tomorrow night, Hull at home to York, and that'll be myself and Ian Judson. And then on Saturday, the crew from Rugby League Raw, they will be calling the Warrington versus Trinity, Whitfield Trinity game. I'm sorry, it's early for me anyway. That's a Saturday game at 5:30, and then finally Bradford and Toulouse with Mick Gledhill on Sunday afternoon. So it's all happening on rugbyleague.com over the next few days. Let's go through, as far as news is concerned, there's been a lot of talk, transfer talk really. Well, obviously, the big thing yesterday was the statement from St Helens about John Wilkin. Basically, John Wilkin. Now, the statement seems extreme and a huge overreaction in that you would struggle to get any sort of defamation. In my sort of layman's knowledge, you would struggle to get any sort of defamation a ruling out of what John Wilkin, the pundit and former St Helens player, said about St Helens. The substance of his allegation on TV was that they were always going to get rid of Paul Wellens last year and that they strung Paul Wellens along. That would be quite embarrassing for St Helens if that went to the courts, because witnesses would have to be called and to prove him wrong. For a sports club to prove a pundit wrong over something that is an 85% opinion is almost impossible to see. So it just seems like, again, the kind of overly sensitive rugby league family, no one stray out of line sort of British mentality to me as an outsider. Anyway, let's go through the rugby league birthdays. Obviously, Mitch Barnett has leaving the Warriors at the end of the year. That is of interest. Payne Haas giving his reasons, although he held back on what the family or personal reason was that he's leaving the Broncos at the end of the year. So those sort of things are floating around. A number of players like Will Price ruled out for the rest of the year in Super League. Okay, let's go to birthdays. February 23, and Ben Custo, formerly of St George, Parramatta and Huddersfield. 50 years today, the big 5-0. Happy birthday, Ben. Scroll down a little bit. Scott Howlett, who I thought, well, there was a Scott Howlett. Anyway, Scott Howlett from Doncaster and West Hull, 34 today. They're getting younger very quickly, aren't they? Anyone else we got here? That's kind of it for players that you may be aware of. There's it's not a bit. Sean Briscoe, who we see around rugby league a fair bit still in various capacities, 43 today, and he played for England, played for Wigan, Hull FC, Hull KR, Widnes, and Workington, And that is about it, actually. That is about it. So, what Harold Horder? How can I forget the great Harold Horder, after whom I named my online store? He was born on this day in 1894. He died in 1978. He played for just about everyone in Australia. Played for Australia, New South Wales first, Queensland first, Metropolis, Sydney first, Kangaroos, Possibles, Brisbane first, South Sydney, North Sydney, Corporoo. There you go, on both sides of the border. Okay, we're just going to hear a bunch of players over the next hour. So strap yourselves in. We're going to hear from a lot of the stars of Super League with the most of the season still ahead of us.
Well, I've got Guillermo Aispiro-Bichet from Catalans here. How has the off-season been? I visited training one day and it looked very tough.
Yeah, it'll be a long and hard pre-season, but we need that because the last 2 years was bad for us. We didn't have the result expected, so we need to have a hard pre-season for get back on track, get back where we need to be, and we need to be in the top 4 team. So we need this hard pre-season for get back on the top.
Joel has signed a lot of younger players, hasn't he? It's a very young and hungry squad.
Yeah, it's a very young squad. Last year was more old, and I think we need a change. So that's what the club make. A lot of young players, but they are young but with experience. So yeah, we're going to be angry as a young player, never tired. So it's going one of our strengths. But we need to manage that and don't overplay, stay calm, manage the plan, and I think we can do a good season.
Joel threw you the football quite early in pre-season, didn't he? Like sometimes pre-season is all fitness, but you have been training with the ball for months.
Yeah. We train more soon with the ball because we make a lot of change, our halfback change. A lot of key player change, so we need this ball because we don't know each other. So we need to play with the ball because if we don't do that, we're going to be lost, and it's going to take more time for us to know each other. So yeah, we need that for be ready for the first game.
And Lewis Dodd and Toby Sexton, what do they like to play with?
Yeah, I really like that because they are young like me, and they are hungry. They always want to play, and they are experienced players. Lewis Dodd win a lot of competition. He win everything in Super League. Toby Sexton play in the highest level in the rugby, so I can learn with them, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Tell us a little bit about your background. When did you first start playing rugby league?
I started at 8 years old. I started in a little club in Perpignan, 13 Catalans. I did all my years in this club until I joined the reserve of Dragons. At 17, I did 1 year, and after I go with the senior, but still with the reserve. I make 1 more year, and at this end of the year, I joined the effective of Dragons. I make my first games. I make 4 games this year, and the next year I play way more. I play 22 games, but Sam injured, Archie leave to retire, so I have more space than I was expecting to have. But it was a good experience. I learned a lot, and now I'm ready, and I know what I need to improve for being the team.
And is it hard as a young player to direct the bit older players as a fullback in defence? It must be hard to shout at much older, more experienced players.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's your job. You need to guide everyone. If you don't do that, they sometimes they lost. So yeah, it's my job to talk to them, and sometimes it's hard, but you need to do that. If not, like you don't do your job, and you're not going to be in the team. So.
I know you're eligible for France, but I read somewhere that you're eligible for other countries as well through your parents and grandparents. Is it you got a Mexican?
Yeah, my mom is Mexican. All my family is living in the US and in Mexico. So yeah, just my dad is French. So and I born in France. So
how did your mum and dad meet?
They meet when my mom came to France. She was working, and he was working in the same place, and that's how they meet.
And do you go to there for holidays to visit family?
Yeah.
What city do you go to?
I go a lot of, like every 2 years I try to go to visit my family. My grandmother live in California.
Oh, yeah.
My uncle live in Los Angeles, so I go a lot of time in Los Angeles, and after I go Mexico, Tijuana, and close to the border. So yeah, I pass a really good time out of rugby. Yeah.
I think Mexico did have a rugby league team a while ago. Would you play rugby league for Mexico?
You're going to love, but in the next Olympic game, Mexico may have a rugby 7 team, and because the next Olympic is in, I think, Canada or something, like Mexico can be already in the competition. They don't need to do like a game for being the competition. So maybe, I don't know.
Has anyone spoken to you about it?
Yeah, Najan tell me he knows someone in the Mexico team. So I don't know yet if I can do that, because maybe we're going to be in the season of Super League, but it's not sure yet, so I don't know, but it's maybe an option.
I've got Ryan Sutton here from the newly promoted Bradford Bulls. How do you look back on your time in Oz?
Very much a roller coaster. I achieved a lot for a boy that, you know, from Wigan, who was relatively unknown, going over to Australia. Went into that Raiders side, you know, as a relatively unknown player, and I loved it. I grasped it with two hands. I wanted to play as much rugby league as I could. Got the opportunity then to go to the Dogs, and I wanted to hit the ground running as soon as I got there, but obviously injury riddled, and yeah, I've a bit of disappointment towards the back end, obviously, because I wanted to, I had set myself some goals I wanted to achieve, and I've not achieved that. But it says in the future there's not that opportunity again, so I'm really looking forward to just getting the fire back in the belly and playing some rugby league with Bradford Bulls.
Do you want to share those goals with us or not?
Nah, there's personal goals.
Okay. And do you think that you're back home to stay now, or do you think you might go back out there?
The opportunities are endless. I've been unfortunate to not be on the field properly for the last 2 years. I think that's been the big, really, really bad thing for me. I've had to do a lot mentally, a lot physically to get my body right to where I am now. The injury that I had, a lot of players don't come back from, so that's a tick in the box for me to start off. But I just want to play some games, so that's what I want to do. I want to string some games together. I'm really looking forward to playing under Kurt. He's got a really good system there, and just the Bulls being back in Super League is the big underlying factor about this whole thing. Is they're back where they belong. So you look at the Bulls of the 90s and the 2000s and the players that played, the competition, the Super Leagues they've won, the Challenge Cups they've won, the international players, the overseas players that's played for Bradford Bulls has been unreal. So I want to be a part of that going into this year.
What's a successful year for Bradford this year, do you think?
Honestly, we're not looking too far into the future. We're looking at each game as it comes, and I think it starts with this one this week. Challenge Cup's a really prestigious competition. It's the oldest in the world, so we're looking forward to that first and foremost. And then when Super League comes around, we're looking forward to competing week in, week out. That's what we want to do. We're going to go into the game confident. We're not going to go into the game just being a number. I think anyone who does that, shouldn't be in Super League. So that's what we'll do, and I think we'll surprise a few. So it's exciting.
And from Huddersfield, I've got George Flanagan here. So George, how's your pre-season been?
Oh, it's been really good, mate. I've really enjoyed it. It's been real tough. We've got a new conditioner, Gaz Whittaker from Salford. He's been real good with the boys. But yeah, we've had a good pre-season. Everyone's stayed injury-free so far. So hopefully we'll see how we get on.
Anything been different with the pre-season?
Oh, I think everyone's work ethic has been different this year. I think everyone wants to put what went wrong last year right this year. Everyone's worked that little bit harder, and we've worked hard as a team and as a group of boys. So yeah, we can't wait to rip into round one.
What did go wrong last year in your mind?
Oh, I just think we had too many injuries, too many different people playing each week. We didn't have any consistency with the team. We can go on about it, but it's done now, and looking forward to a big 2026, and that's something we're all keen to get going.
You got one of the more high-profile owners. Do the players hear from him much?
Yeah, we hear from Ken all the time. He's been taking us out for dinner individually and in little groups over pre-season, and Ken really just wants the club to do well. Ken's a massive supporter of the Giants, and he's the big foundation of the Giants, and we want to repay him by getting some good performances out.
Does he talk about on-field stuff, or is it more about the vibe of the club and the history and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, just the vibe of the club, but the Giants are going in the right direction at the minute. There's everything going well for him. But yeah, he comes and talks to the boys a lot, and he just talks about anything. You can talk to Ken about anything really, and he just wants us to do well, like I said. So yeah.
You must be happy with the way your own young career is going.
Yeah, I am. I want to be better than last year. I want to be better every year and keep building on my game. So yeah, looking forward to it.
What are the things you're happy with so far? Have you exceeded your expectations up to now, or have you just met your own expectations?
I'm not too sure. I've got high expectations for myself anyway. Taking it away from without no one looking, I want to do well in myself and prove to myself I'm good enough to play Super League. And I feel like I'm nearly there, but I've got a lot to learn. I'm still only young and still got a lot of hopefully many years ahead of me. And I just want to keep getting better and better.
Is representative football, test football, is that in your mind?
Yeah, definitely. That's the biggest honour in it to represent your country, and hopefully in a few years I can do that. I'm nowhere near it yet, I don't think, but I want to keep my feet on the ground and keep working hard, and hopefully one day I get the opportunity.
And I've got another guy who's just new to the country, Jazz Tevaga. How are you finding it here in England?
Yeah, good mate. It's taken me a bit of time to adjust, but I'm really starting to enjoy the place now. That I'm more settled in, and yeah, I can't wait for the season to kick off.
What was the story behind you deciding to come here?
Look, I have a daughter. My eldest daughter lives in Skipton, north side of England. So yeah, look, I felt like a real good time to come over. I still feel young, still feel like I'm in my prime, and I didn't want to come over and be, sort of an older player, half-assed. Just sort of put the feet up. I wanted to come over here, challenge myself, and really make a stamp in this competition, and I chose Wakefield.
Your daughter must have been so thrilled to hear you were coming here to live.
Yeah, she's turning 4, got my hands full. I've got another 2-year-old as well, and just good for them to sort of grow up and spend some time together as well, my 2 daughters, and it's been really, really nice to spend some time with her, quality time.
And how have you found off-season here?
Yeah, tough. Just the cold, I guess. The cold in the early dark days is probably the hardest thing. But Wakefield have really welcomed me with both arms, and all the boys have been really welcoming, the coaching staff, and help make the transition a lot easier.
You had a great career in the NRL, didn't you? Would you like? I mean, is it definitely over, or you think it's over, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, realistically, bro, I think I've played my last game in the NRL, and I probably would never say no. I'll never say no, but I'm sort of comfortable here at Wakefield and in the Super League. And look, I think hopefully Wakefield's my home for a long time.
What's your best memory in your NRL? You got a favourite game or a favourite thing you did?
There's 2 memories. Oh, there's a lot actually. But my debut, you can't look past that. But then there was a win against Newcastle in the semi-finals of 2023 at home. I remember just sitting on the bench and watching Sean Johnson do a lap, and how the crowd erupted, and he deserved that moment. Really deserved it, and the fans deserved it, and it was just really cool moment that I'll never forget.
You must be excited with the way the NRL's going, with the amount of money that's coming into it, and the Warriors, I guess, also selling out the whole season, and the things are sort of going from strength to strength down there, aren't they?
Yeah, well, the Warriors sort of rise has only come as of recent, since the 2023s, and they're a club that's going like that with their owner Mark Robinson and Amanda Robinson, and what the coaches are doing, Andrew Issa, they're playing some really good football, disciplined football, and I think they're on the right path to get a step closer to achieving the ultimate dream.
And mate, what do you make of Wakefield? And obviously you've got promotion and relegation over here, and they were fantastic in their first year up, but it's different promotion and relegation, isn't it? It's a different sort of system than we're used to at home.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You've got to make sure you perform, otherwise you'll be playing in the lower grade. And I'm still adjusting to how the comp works there. Even having Challenge Cup mid-season still confuses me. So, something I'm going to have to try and get used to. Yeah.
And how do you expect the footy to differ in the NRL?
Well, just watching the games as of recent, the friendly games. I know they're trying to change the rule and make the game speed a lot like NRL because of what happened in the Ashes. It doesn't look too dissimilar. I think this new rule will be good for the game entertainment-wise. It's going to speed it up. It's going to be more tries, and it's going to be fun.
And are you looking to settle here when your career's over? Now you've got family here.
I want to coach, bro. So post footy, I want to get into coaching. Whether that starts here or it starts back at the Warriors or whatever, I don't know. Wherever it takes me. So look, I know sort of coaching is sort of like a player's. You know, you're off to different teams, so travel around a bit. So we'll see where it goes.
How far off is that in years?
Hopefully not too soon. Still got a few years left, hopefully. But as soon as I finish footy, I'm already planning to start our academy and start helping out there. So as soon as I finish, the faster I can get into it.
The academy where? Where's the academy?
Whitfield.
Whitfield.
Yeah. Going to start helping out there and just start getting some coaching reps under my belt.
What's the attraction to coaching?
Well, I just feel like I've done footy for so long. That's all I pretty much know. And, I played at a high level. Why not just stick to my guns and do something I'm good at?
Yeah. But if I could play the devil's advocate, coaching at the top level is pretty cutthroat, isn't it? You know, you don't keep a job for long. Everyone's close. You know, every game, as they say, your next game's closer to getting the sack. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm more interested in being an assistant coach, defensive sort of coach. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Head coach. Yeah. Probably lose my hair.
Hi, I'm Brady Croft from Leeds Rhinos, and you're listening to rugbyleague.com.
I'm very interested in Vegas, so as I told you. Have you been before?
Nah, I haven't. First trip, so I'll be on debut over there. Really looking forward to it. I know the boys are all really looking forward to it. Once we finally got the draw card that Leeds were going to be the team to go this year, we're jumping at it. So, can't wait.
For Aussie fans who'll be watching on Fox or travelling, how would you explain the rivalry between the two clubs and sort of where Hull KR are and where you are? How would you sum it up? Or if you're back home in Toowoomba and someone asks you about the two teams, how would you explain it?
KR, they won it last year. They won the treble, they're one of the form teams for the last few seasons, really, especially since Willie Peters has been there. He's really built that club up to be a real competitive force, and we've had some really good rivalries, particularly last season. I think they pipped us once in the last 5 minutes, and then we pipped them twice, once at KR as well, which was a big win. It's a huge rivalry the boys always get up for. They always get up for it as well. So they've got some players in their team as well that like to get under our skins, and we've got some players on our team that like to get under their skins as well. So it's a good contest.
I can think of a couple. Do you want to name any of them? Or?
I think you can see that when you turn on the TV and watch round 3 Hull KR versus Leeds, you'll see that pretty early on.
The other thing that's been a bit of a discussion over the last 24 hours since James made his decision is it how hard, if it's going to be harder for Super League clubs to attract Australian players because of the two new clubs, particularly with Perth coming in. What do you think of all that? Is the climate change because of the new clubs?
Possibly. Super League's just got 3 new clubs in this season itself, so there's obviously opportunities there as well for Australian players to come over and take up the challenge of playing Super League. Different sort of challenges, obviously climate being one of them. I can't really speak too much otherwise into that.
Yeah. And finally, I've asked the other two fellas I've spoken to this as well. What are the little things that Leeds have to do this year to go to the next level? What are the little 1%ers that you need to work on?
Definitely build on what we did last year. So I think our combinations really come a long way. The structures and systems that BA brought into place last year, being his first full season here at Leeds. So obviously that's the foundations now, that's the standards, and we need to build on the back of that. Maybe if there's one thing we can work on is just concentrating in those big moments. I mean, that's ultimately what decided our season in the end, wasn't it? A big moment there that, for maybe a lack of concentration across the whole park, we let it slip. So, we haven't dwelled on it too much, but it's something that we've touched on and something that we need to build on this year and, hopefully go a few games better.
1 year later, and we're talking to James McDonald again, and the weather's a bit nicer than it was 12 months ago. It was snowing last year, if you remember.
A little bit nicer. I think they had to clear the pitch last year so we could get on it for the picture, but not much nicer.
Now, a lot's happened since, particularly in the last week. You've decided to head off to the Perth Bears. They just announced their logo the other day, but this morning. So tell us about the decision and when was contact first made?
It's been a busy week, getting it all confirmed and wrapped up and released this week, but it's been in the works for a good few weeks, probably getting on a couple of months now that we've had conversations, obviously spoken with Mal, spoke with Dane Campbell, the recruitment manager, and I had a good conversation initially, and then they expressed interest, made an offer, and then just a couple of logistics. But I think from the off, really, I was pretty keen to get over. It was just kind of working out the fine-tuning the contract, and I'm happy to sign.
Was it a personal approach, or was it through your agent?
It was through my agent, but I think Harry Newman expressed that they'd had a conversation about me while he was getting through his paperwork and his meetings. So it was good to know that the interest was there initially before we started officially talking.
So did he actually recommend you to them, or did he just? Did he?
I don't think he recommended me. I think maybe they'd seen a little bit of me and Harry playing together, because obviously, if you had interest in Harry, we played pretty much every single game beside each other last year. So you'd see a lot of me in his clips, and I think they'd seen a little bit of something that they liked, so they just expressed interest. And it was obviously I heard it through Harry initially, but then it was a conversation with Mal.
You've already made the move across from Wigan to here, but I mean it's a much bigger move. so what about logistically away from footy? Was it a big decision to leave your family and everything? And I know there's a direct flight from London now, but how hard was that decision?
Yeah, 18 hours direct, mate. So it's not quite Sydney, but mate, it was a big decision. I mean, obviously, we've got a partner now for 3 years, so it's getting serious there. We're obviously trying to plan the rest of our lives together, and it's obviously a big commitment for her and also myself to go over there. But it's my dream that we're chasing. So obviously, thankful to the missus. She's fully on board and she's really excited. It's kind of worked out pretty well. She's got friends over there. She had a stepdad who lived over there for 17 years in Perth, so he's got the lay of the land there. So it's kind of it's aligned pretty well.
Is that a crucial thing in the decision that she's got connections there? I guess maybe she can work there if she.
Yeah, I mean it did. Obviously, initially I'd go on my own about if I didn't have any commitments, definitely. But obviously, when you've got a partner, it's about them really. You want them to be happy, and then you're happy and you're playing well. Really, that's how it goes. But initially it kind of worked out pretty well because she already had the connections over there to Perth, so it was kind of it was like a kind of a telling sign for us really that it kind of should work out over there.
Now, what's it like when you sort of walk in the first day after it's out and everyone knows? You're a bit nervous going to work? It's like you take your new job. Is it a bit different coming in the first day?
Yeah, well, so I'd obviously got it wrapped up a little bit before they released it, so I wanted to be the first to tell the lads, so made sure I did that in a meeting to tell the boys, obviously thank them because it's a lot to do with them. The reason why I'm playing in this team and I've been playing well enough to go and get that move, it's obviously down to them an awful lot. So I thanked them, told them I'm fully committed to this year at Leeds, and that just a big thank you to them and let them know before they heard it anywhere else.
And Vegas, that's a minor thing compared to moving to the other side of the world, I guess. How do you feel about Vegas?
Well, I'm getting really excited now. I've not really thought about it for a long while, but now it's coming up pretty quick, and just got the headshots taken in the kit today, which I love. So I'm getting pretty excited now.
Are you excited about the opportunity to play in front of an NRL audience?
I hadn't actually thought about that, but obviously there's going to be an awful lot of them travelling over and to watch their games over there. So yeah, I think that would add a little bit of flair to it, really, to be able to showcase myself to them guys over there, them fans, show them a bit about me. So yeah, it's a good prospect.
And what's it like when you're on a trip like this? It's business, but there's a lot of bright lights in Vegas and stuff, so you're only human. So has BA said anything about it, or in your own mind, how do you sort of keep your mind on the job? It's not a party, you know what I mean?
It's not really crossed the mind. There might be a couple of guys we need to keep in check a little bit, but no, I'm pretty sure we've got it fine-tuned, and we got the schedule out this week, so we kind of know where we're at all times. There's not too much free time, I don't think.
Last question, what does Leeds got to do this year to go to the next level? What are the little things that need to be improved upon?
I think we're doing it already in the training that we've done. I think last year was our first full pre-season under BA, so we had to get used to a lot of different systems, a lot of different techniques in the way that he coaches. But this year, having had last year already, this has been an opportunity for us to really fine-tune what went wrong in last year. And I think we found that little times in games, it was our concentration and our because we never lacked effort, we never lacked the attitude to go and win. I think every game we played, we looked like we could have won it with 10 minutes to go in the game. So I think it's just fine-tuning that concentration aspect of the game, I think.
Good to see you, man. Enjoy the season. Enjoy Vegas.
Thank you very much. Cheers.